Hey guys, DJ here with GameTime Michigan, and I am proud to be across the table from Anthony, who just recently, and by recently I mean probably 20 minutes ago, won his very first tournament, won his first GOAT tournament, which was on Sunday here at Sunday Goats at GameTime, and we're going to have a deck profiles with Anthony, and we're going to talk about his deck. And I'll get a better view on the cards on the second, but I want to give Anthony a chance to introduce himself first. So go ahead and say what you want to say, Anthony. Who are you? How long you been playing? Why do you play at GameTime? All that other stuff.
Hello, I'm Anthony Anderson. I play at GameTime because my mom found this place on Facebook and said I might be interested in it. So I checked it out and it was fun. I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh since I don't know, like third grade, and I found it on tap and started playing it. And I wanted to find a place to play Yu-Gi-Oh. I didn't care about the format, so I came here about Go. GameTime is like a very nice place. They helped me put together a deck. I traded out some cards, got some cards, and they helped me out a lot.
Okay, so let's start talking about the cards. I'm going to stand over here, get a quick view on everything. And don't worry, guys, we're going to talk about these two cards first. We're coming right back to them. But it looks like, in general, Anthony's kind of rocking more of a beatdown deck with Nimble Mamangas. We're going to talk about those ones, too. There's some of Anthony's card choices. And there's a little bit of glare. Sorry about that. And this is his side deck. Alrighty, so let's start off with the elephant in the room, so to speak, Anthony. Let's talk about Despair from the Dark.
Well, Despair is quite a useful card. Everyone sides out their delinquents and stuff against me if I have that card running in my deck. When discarded from the deck or hand, it can special summon itself, so it's quite useful, as you can choose it if they don't choose it for your Despair from the Dark.
So, like, if they duo and you discard it, it goes into play. Like, if they Donzalug and mill it, it comes into play?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So next we got to talk about this Dark Magician. So I think I know why you've got the Dark Magician in here, and I think the reason why the Dark Magician is because of these skilled Dark Magicians here. But is there anything else why? Like, any other reason why?
Well, it's a good discard card. If I have it in my hand, I can just discard it for, like, a Lightning Vortex or Grace for Charity. It'd be safer in the graveyard instead of like a dead draw or something, and something staying in my hand.
Fair enough.
And skilled have a pretty high attack, just 19.
Yep, that's a nice beatdown monster. It's a dark type too. Going on to our third tribute monster here. Most people only play 1 or 0 tributes, so it's a little interesting to see 3. We've got the Jinzo in here. Any comments on why the Jinzo's in here? Is it just standard, like, beats up on warriors and negates all their traps?
Negates traps. Quite useful.
Yep. Yeah, if you have a Jinzo in play, it's really hard for you to lose against warriors, all right?
Yes, but I have a good substitute if I don't have it.
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about Pitch Black Warwolf, too, yep. You've got the Warwolf, so the Berserk and the Gigantes are more normal for, like, an Earth-style beatdown deck. We don't really need to talk about them. We've got the Skilled Darks. We covered those. Breaker's pretty normal. The King Tiger Wanghu. Why is there a King Tiger in here?
Well,
what do you got going on with Wanghu?
Well, they might summon Exile. They might bring out a... Goats, it stops Goats, it stops Relinquished. It also Cannon Soldier, that also stops it, but it's there to dissuade summoning like little small monsters. It's also good against Gravekeeper to stop their one summon if you ram it into.
Fair enough. And then we got the Pitch Black Warwolf here. Is this just because, like, to get around the Sakuretsus and everything else?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. And then over here, DD Warrior Lady's pretty normal. I see Legendary Jiu-Jitsu Master here. Explain that one to me. Why is he in your deck?
Just there to defend it. If the field's empty, I can just attack with him. But if I want a set card, I can just put him down.
Fair enough. And then we got the 3 Nimble Mamangas. Any special reason for those? Just they summon themselves and keep your life up?
Yes, but they're
high?
also not flip monsters. So if you get a Nobleman on them, they're not going to be wasted from the deck.
Fair enough.
And they're good for life points.
Okay, so we got the Sangan's pretty normal. The Spirit Reaper and Sinister Serpent are more normal. We've got the Injection Fairy Lily and the Cyber Jar. So the Injection, I assume, is just more because you want to be a beatdown deck and kill people fast. And then why is the Cyber Jar in here?
Cyber Jar, place it if it stays on the field or something. I get my hand either refilled or a bunch of monsters on here for beatdown.
Okay. And then now we're getting over to the magic cards here. So some beatdowny magic cards, some non-standard ones. So we got the United We Stand, we got the Enemy Controller. There's swords. Most people don't play swords. You've got a little bit of a goat package with creature swap in here. The brain control, nobleman. One of the things I wanted to touch base on, why only one nobleman, Anthony?
Why only one nobleman? Because I want support. Like with one nobleman, I think it's good, but I have all these cards that are quite useful in situations that can come up. If I have one nobleman, they don't have a face down. Well, I have a dead
There's
card.
a dead card? Fair enough. One of the cool combos I've seen Anthony pull this off several times, especially on Friday nights against certain players, and they know who they are. But I've seen Anthony get a couple of people with the United We Stand Scapegoat combo. And that's always cool. It's great, like 4,000 damage out of nowhere. It's a blowout. What else is in here? So the enemy controller. Most people don't play enemy controller. Do you have a reason behind the enemy controller?
Enemy controller. It's a Book of Moon on your opponent if just putting them in defense. But if they either choose a banish a card, destroyer, or anything, you can tribute that card and steal a monster, either to protect yourself or just
Fair enough. And then for our traps, obviously there's a brain control in here, but we have 3 tribute monsters, so brain control makes more sense.
Yep.
We want to steal their guy to tribute the same thing. Enemy controller, like use your goats, sacrifice a goat, steal something of theirs.
Yep.
Works for that. And then for our traps, so we've got some non-standard traps in here. Torrential Call, Mirror Force, all pretty normal. The Ring's fine. The Dust Tornado gets played a lot. I want to talk about the bottomless, and ultimately I want to talk about the Ultimate Offering, because I saw that Ultimate Offering was pretty pivotal in your game wins today.
Yep.
So let's get to the bottomless. Why you got the bottomless in
Bottomless, because, well, if it's banished, they can't use it. They can't bring it back with Call the Haunted. They can't bring it with Premature. And it's quite useful against Chaos if they special summon their card, and they're locked out of it. If I play a Brawn deck and they summon like their big giant panda, I get rid of it and they can't bring it back.
Okay, now we get to talk about the Ultimate Offering. Why do you got the Ultimate Offering in your deck? What's that one for?
Well, with monsters, you want to get them out on the field if they feel full in your hand if you don't use them. But with Ultimate Offering, I can bring them out with a simple 500. But there's also another use. People like to play Mystic Swordsman or Nobleman. Well, this card can be used during the battle phase. If I use it during the battle phase, I can set a Nibble, a Sangan, or anything and to defend myself, and maybe even flip it up next turn.
Makes sense. And then we're going on to the sideboard here. Most of the sideboard is pretty unique, or side deck, excuse me. Is there anything special you want to talk about in the side deck here, Anthony?
Well, Morphing Jaw is if I'm playing a usual opponent who takes out their delinquents and stuff, I put in Morphing Jaw for more draws and stuff. Buster Blader and Skilled will replace my Dark Magician and stuff if I'm playing a Horus deck. And of course, Dashfall if I take if I'm playing
Wombat for burn, yep. I wanted to ask about Zero Gravity and Stumbling. That's stuff I never see anybody play.
Stumbling and Zero Gravity. This is just like if I take out traps or non-useful if I think it's good. But Stumbling, this is quite a useful card, and I like to use it with my Jowgen. Because Jowgen stops special summonings, meaning it's good against Chaos and stuff, but I can also destroy it. Well, it has only 200 attack, so it can be simply destroyed. But with Stumbling, it can stop your opponent, it can chase in defense and stop your opponents from summoning and beating it down. So you can, if you have a monster that's already strong, you can take down those weak defense monsters.
Fair enough. All right, I think that about covers it, Anthony. Is there any final thoughts or anything you want to say before we wrap up here?
This deck is made out. I like this deck. It's made out of stuff I put together. It's kind of reminds me of how I put together decks in Yu-Gi-Oh games when you have bare minimum. You
Fair enough.
Get it.
And it's your own homebrew, right?
Yep.
It's not some net deck thing. This is something you carefully crafted yourself with a lot of experience, a lot of trial and error.
Yep, that's what I like about doing with Yu-Gi-Oh. Trial and error. I like to not use the internet for it.
Fair enough, that makes sense. Well, I want to give you a big congratulations on winning your first tournament today, and I want to thank you for taking the time to sit down with me and do the deck profile, Anthony.
And I'd like to thank you, DJ, for letting me play at GameTime.
You're welcome. Thank you, sir.
See ya.